Hey, Dad. I know that you've been busy lately with your company, but have you had a chance to look over my business proposal? I put a lot of effort into it, and I would love your input. I want to make sure that it will impress the people I need to show it to. I've got a meeting in a couple of months with a pretty important person, and I really think that this could be my big break. I just need to make sure that my business plan is as impressive as it can possibly be. Dad?
Corinna, what is it? I'm busy at the minute.
Oh, I just wondered if you had seen my business plan?
No, I've not been able to look it over. I've had too much on my plate to read a nonsense proposal. I really wish you wouldn't waste my time with these silly little ideas of yours. Don't you know that I'm trying to train your brother so that he can take over my company eventually? I really need to focus on making sure he knows what he's doing.
Hang on. You're telling me that you don't have half an hour to read my business plan, one that I know is a good idea and that will really take off, but you have time to teach Les, who is one of the laziest and most incompetent people I know, how to run a company?
Yes? Look, he may be lazy, but that's why I've got to whip him into shape. I don't have time to humor your silly ideas. You're an adult now, Corinna, and you need to start acting like one. You need to forget all about these ridiculous plans and business ideas of yours. They'll never work. Just get a real job, get your head out of the clouds, and start living in reality. I think the shop down the road is hiring. Why not apply there? And you can save up a bit and maybe actually go to college, like you'd originally planned before this stupid business plan popped into your head.
Wow, thanks for the support, Dad. No, really, it's too much. And for your information, my idea isn't stupid. It'll be a massive hit, I know it. And as for college, you know I don't want to go there. All it'll do is put me thousands of dollars in debt. And for what? A piece of paper? I've already got a business plan. I've researched and worked hard to make it a viable idea. I just need some help in making sure I've got the presentation right. I'd think, as my dad, you want to help me out a bit. Clearly, I was wrong.
I do want to help you, Corinna, but I want you to be realistic. Do you know how many people think they have the next great idea, spend all their time, effort, and money on it only for it to fail and they have nothing left to show for it? I don't want you to be one of those people.
But I won't be, Dad. My idea's good. I know it is.
That's what everyone thinks. It's best if you just forget about it now before you make a fool of yourself and move on to something more suitable. Maybe you could study to become a nurse or something? Something that pays well so you won't have to worry about money in the future.
And I'm guessing Les will simply be given money by you, since he's your favorite and all.
Helping him find his footing. He's a late bloomer and needs a bit of help and support so that he'll be able to take over the company. I want to make sure that it's left in good hands.
Well, it's definitely not in good hands with Les. He'll have bankrupted within a year once he has it. I bet.
That's not a very nice thing to say about your brother, Corinna. He's trying his hardest. Maybe if you put a bit of effort into something, then you'd understand what it was like.
Are you kidding me? I have put effort into something. I've put effort into my business plan. I've done all of the necessary research. I've looked into possible competitors and done market research into how my idea would work and how people would use it. How much it would be to make within the first year, budgets and profit margins. I've done it all. You'd know this if you even bothered to skim over the draft proposal I sent to you.
You might have done all that, but there's no telling if you'd done it right. You could have just wasted tons of your time and hard work on something that won't work at all.
That's why I'd like you to look it over. You know what? Forget it. You clearly don't care what I do or how hard I work. Nothing I do will ever be good enough for you. All you're bothered about is helping Les because he's your son. Fine then. If that's how you want to be, then I won't bother you anymore with my silly business plan. I'll make sure to not involve you in it at all.
Now you're just being overdramatic. Although, I will thank you for keeping me out of your ideas from now on. I'm a very busy man and I don't want to have to keep having these conversations with you about trivial matters.
Uh-huh. I'll have someone else look over it. Someone who actually cares about what I do and believes in me. because that's clearly not you.
Look, we can finish talking about this later, Karina. For now, I need to get back to helping your brother. Goodbye.
Yeah, whatever.
Little sister, that just told me that you and him got into an argument because you think you've actually got a good business idea? How pathetic. Are you really that desperate for Dad's attention that you'd create a totally rubbish idea just to have him look at it? Only real losers would do something like that.
Get lost, Les. If anyone's a loser here, it's you. I mean, how many times did you have to repeat a grade in high school just so you could graduate? Not to mention that you were kicked out of college as well for not showing up to your lessons. And yet you call me the failure.
Shut up. The teachers in high school were purposefully holding me back because they were jealous of me. And I didn't need college because I'm taking over the family business, so it was their loss. Because when I become rich now, they're not going to be getting any donations from me.
Don't make me laugh. You're not going to become rich. All you're doing is riding on Dad's coattails. He's the one who built the company up. You have absolutely no clue how to run a business.
Oh, and you do you? From what Dad was telling me, you don't know anything. All you got is a silly little idea that no one will actually want to use, and no clue how to market it. It's no wonder why I'm Dad's favorite. At least I don't embarrass him with made-up stuff.
Yeah, all you do is show up late for work, if you bother show up at all, that is. You also lounge around all day, doing nothing and making Dad look like a complete fool as he tries to teach you how to run a company for when he retires. You do know that none of the other workers respect you, right? You make their lives more difficult than they need to be with all of your stupid micromanaging and ridiculous demands.
What would you know of it? You don't know how to run a business. If you did, Dad wouldn't have brushed you off so easily. He would have actually given your idea a chance. The fact that he didn't just shows that he knows you're a failure and that you won't amount to anything.
It's funny. You and Dad seem so certain that I'm just a clueless little girl, and yet neither one of you have even read my proposal. Is it that it's too complicated for your little brain and that you don't understand any of it?
I'm not an idiot.
Could have fooled me.
Whatever. No matter what you do, you'll always be a failure in Dad's eyes. He knows that all you're good for is a normal job, serving people at a checkout. I mean, he hasn't even offered to train you in his company. What does that say, huh?
It doesn't matter. I don't need his approval to know that I've done a good job. I'm not going to stop working on my idea simply because Dad said so.
Just face it, it's not a good idea and it'll never amount to anything. You want to know why?
Why?
Because you're a girl. It's well known that girls aren't good at business. Why do you think there's hardly any women CEOs? Because girls don't know what they're doing in terms of making deals and building a good company. They probably just spent all the money on shoes or something.
That's so sexist and so wrong on so many levels. I don't even know where to start in correcting you. Although, it'd probably all go in one ear and out the other even if I tried.
You can be as moody as you want about this, but you know it's true. That's why Dad's training me to take over the business, and not you. He feels exactly the same way about women working in business. The best place for you is at the reception, looking pretty.
Les, you really need to shut up. Like, now.
I'm just telling the truth. You'll just have to deal with it.
Well, we'll just see about that.
So, you've had your meeting? Time to pack it in now, yeah? I can only imagine they let you down easily, but it's time to get into the real world, okay?
Oh no, I think I'll stay as I am. Thanks, Dad.
Karina, I'm just trying to look out for you as your dad. You need to get a real job now. I know you're probably upset because your meeting went bad, but it's time to let that idea go.
My meeting didn't go bad. In fact, it went fantastically.
Huh?
Yeah, things are really looking up for me.
They are.
Yeah, the other company's bosses really love my idea. They were sold on it almost straight away. They've invested a hefty sum to help me get it up and running. A few $100,000.
100,000?
Yeah, I know. My reaction was pretty much exactly the same, but that's how certain they are that my idea is going to generate a lot of money.
Well, maybe I could help you out. We could split the work and everything and share the profits. Being the more senior worker, I'd have more of the profits, obviously. We could make a 70-30 split. I think it would be a great partnership.
Wow. I mean, really, you're just unbelievable.
Huh? What do you mean?
I mean, you couldn't be bothered at all when I first gave you my proposal. You couldn't even be bothered to skim over it to see what it was actually about. And now, after I've done all the hard work and secured a massive investment, you want to jump in and even try and take over my profits? I really don't think so.
But I'm your dad. We're family. We should help each other out.
Yeah, we should, but you couldn't be bothered to help me when I needed it, so you don't get to share in the success after I've managed to do everything.
You're being selfish.
Nope, I'm being realistic. You were the selfish one when you didn't help me simply because I'm a girl. You thought that I would fail in my endeavor, and so you didn't even try to help me. Instead, you focused all your attention on Les. Well, now you've got to stick to your plan because I don't want your help anymore.
You silly girl, if I don't help you, you're just gonna fail.
No, I won't actually. I've made it this far, and I know I'm smart enough and skilled enough to go even further. I don't need you involved in my business anymore. You had your chance, and you blew it.
But I didn't know it would be so successful.
That's your problem. Now, if you don't mind, I've got a lot of work to do to get my business underway.
Hang on. Wait a minute, Corinna. We can work this out so that we can work together. I'll even make it a 60-40 split.
How about a 0-100 split? The profits are mine. Now, please, stop embarrassing yourself. I'm not going to hire you when you so easily brush me off. It just shows that you wouldn't listen to me on decisions, and I'm not going to let that happen.
But I know better about businesses.
Is that why yours is failing?
How do you know that?
Les has quite a big mouth.
Well, it's just a little slump. It'll pick back up again.
Well, maybe you should work on that. I've got my own business to worry about now. Sorry, Dad, but you didn't believe in me, so you don't get to jump in when I start doing well. Good luck with your own business. My business ended up really taking off. I was able to pay the investment back within my first couple of years, and I have made a lot of money in profits. My company continues to grow, and I can't wait to see where things will go in the future. As for my dad, his company began to really struggle. In the end, he figured out that Les had been stealing money and spending it on ridiculous things, like watches and clothes. Dad ended up firing Les, and he has him on a plan to pay back everything he took. Since doing that, my dad's business has slowly begun to pick back up again, but it will take a while to be as successful as it was. It just goes to show that you really never should judge a book by its cover. Just because I was a woman, my dad thought I would fail, but by believing in myself and working hard, I was able to prove him wrong and pursue my dreams.